Alright, so we have our game here, and if I go over to the kelp, I have my little cutscene. And what I programmed was that if the turtle gets into the kelp, it's going to print out in the console, I'm eating food, I'm growing, or something like that. Turtle's growing. And so you can see once I get over here, turtle's growing, right? So good. But now we want to make him actually grow. And that's going to be a little bit tricky because in Python, like you can go over here and you could search for Python turtle. Let me go ahead and put this into the... Okay. So you can search for Python turtle, and then you can go to the documentation, right? We'll click there, and then here it has all of the different methods that we can use with the turtle, like forward and backward and heading and X core, Y core, right? These are all, well, not all, but these are some of the methods that we've been using with the turtle. But here on this page are all of the methods you could use with the turtle, right? And if you look through them, you'll find that there's nothing that will like increase the size of the turtle, right? By a small amount. But we do have shape size. We do have shape size or turtle size. And how does shape size or turtle size work? Well, if we run shape size and we put a number inside of it, it will make the turtle grow to that number, right? So it starts out with 1, which is the default size. This is a size 1 right here. And if you put size 2, then it'll grow bigger. Size 3, it'll grow bigger. Size 4, it'll grow bigger up to 10. And 10 is the biggest. It's like as big as this screen, I think. And so I can go ahead and show you how that works. If I go over to my main, where maybe I can go to where I'm making turty. I think I'm making them up here. Yep, I'm making turty. And so I could say turty dot shape size. And I could do size 10. And now when I run it, you'll see like he'll be gigantic. Okay, so this is gigantic arrow. But I don't think I turn him into a turtle until after the turtles leaves the screen in main. So boom. Okay, so this is size 10. Too big, right? Or maybe you want him this big. I don't know, right? But for me, it's too big. And now I can control this gigantic turtle. So what I want to do is I want to increase his size by 1 every single time he moves through the kelp. And so where is he moving through the kelp? Well, let me look through my code. And he's right here, right? No, it's not, actually. Let's see, where is it? Man, where am I moving through the kelp? Maybe I could search for growing. No? Okay, there we go. So here is where I have it happening. I say if the X core is greater than 160 and the Y core is less than negative 180, and this is the key part, and the level is equal to 5, right? If I don't have this, then it will say turdy is growing on every screen as long as he's in the bottom right corner. Right? So I only want that to happen on level 5, where the kelp is. Okay. So here, what I want to do is I want to say every time this happens, I want turdy to change his size, right? But what size do I want him to change it to? Like if I put a 2 here, then every time he moves through the kelp, he's going to be size 2. But I don't want that. I want every time he moves here, the shape goes up by 1. And then so it goes to 2, and then it goes to 3, and then it goes to 4, and then it goes to 5, and so on. So the way that we can do this is we can set up a variable for this size. Right? And we're going to make it global. So I'm going to come up to the top, and after I make my debounce, I'm going to make turdy size variable. I'm going to set it equal to 1, which is his default size. This is the size that he's going to start out as, right? And what I'm going to do with that turdy size variable is I am going to increase it. So right here, if this happens, right, and he's on level 5, and he is moving through the kelp forest, then I'm going to say turdy size plus equals 1, which is shortcut for turdy size is equal to turdy size plus 1. Okay. So what is this going to do? It's going to say, okay, well, 1 plus 1, so now turdy size is equal to 2. And then the next time it happens, well, it's going to be 2 plus 1, and the turty size is going to equal to 3. Right? So this is a counting variable. Right? We have the variable outside of the loop set to its starting value of 1, inside of the function that's going to continue executing. We have the same variable on both sides of the equal sign, and we are adding the amount that we want to grow by. If we want to grow by 1, we could say plus 1. If we want to grow by 2, we can say plus 2. Okay. And so I'm going to do by 1. And so I'm going to come here and I'm going to say change the turty shape size by turty size after I increase it. Okay, so that looks good. And I actually want to sleep too. I want to do a time.sleep. I think it looks good. So I'm going to do a time.sleep 1 second. So every single time he grows. And not only that, but I'm also going to write. So I'm going to go back to my write text function. And I'm going to say something like, right? So let's go ahead and see what happens when we play this. It's going to take a little while. I think a bell's going to go off in a second here. So excuse the bell. But let's see if turty starts growing over there. It meets up with the surfer turtle. It says follow me so you can get your grub on. And now I'm going to the cutscene with the algae. Look at all this food. And what I'm looking for is for him to grow in the kelp. And also say, So there we go. Right, I move again. He's growing. I move again. He's growing. And so let's go ahead and get our projects to this point.